The Morning X, it's Barnes and Leslie, the original 99X. Leslie, when you think about actors, like, show me an actor that has dominated almost every genre he's been into, and I'll show you a guy that is doing something right. I can show you one of those guys.
Please do.
Please meet Jeremy Sisto. Hey, Jeremy.
Dominated, really?
Dude.
I don't like that, but thank you.
You have, though.
You have. Come on.
And we'll talk about, you have a big episode tonight on FBI on CBS, but, I mean, leading into that, what I'm talking about is how you have just, I mean, every piece of it you get into was going back all the way to 6 Feet Under in such a difficult role to get your first big spotlight on yourself. I mean, that's impressive, man.
Yeah, that was a good one. I mean, I had done movies before that, as a Clueless and a bunch of movies that didn't do as well. And, I was one of those younger actors. There was a ton of us, and we all knew that only some of us were going to be able to transition into being a grown-up type actor. And Alan Ball, saw something in me that perhaps others didn't at that time, and that was that I could handle a role like Billy Chenowith. Yeah, sort of, bipolar and just really well drawn.
Yeah.
You mentioned Clueless. Like, you were only 19 when you auditioned for that, right? And they thought you looked like a young Travolta.
That's right, Amy Heckerling. Yes, said she. I reminded her she had done "Look Who's Talking," the franchise with him. So, so I figured that was a pretty good compliment. But yeah, that was when I was 19. I think I just turned 19, and
wow,
yeah, it was cool. And then sort of growing as I got older, being able to transition into other roles. I mean, I remember the first time I was able to play a detective type character. I thought they were joking when they offered me the role. I'm not in my life the most confrontational person, so I don't really see myself as the detective type. But
it worked.
It's working.
A few episodes where you're that guy, and you start to believe yourself.
Well, you mentioned something about Alan Ball, who saw that something in you early on. There's a bunch of people in Atlanta that are trying to make it as actors. I mean, Atlanta arguably has more production than L.A. for the last several years. And what is that? Can you even, or did you talk to someone like Alan Ball afterwards and say, what did I do right? Because you never hear feedback like that. You always hear what you did wrong, but what do you think it is that you've done right to be, I mean, you've been in massive franchises your whole career. So it's something. Has someone ever told you what it is?
Well, I mean, first of all, I love Atlanta. And actually, I believe Zico Zaki, who's one of the stars of our show, lived down there for a while when he was a new actor. I believe he moved down there because there were a lot of projects going on down there. He had actually a casting, he recorded auditions for people.
Yeah.
Like that kind of business.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. It really, and I know the business is changing right now, but I have a lot of, nephews and all sort of asking me advice, and it's hard to say what that thing is. I mean, for me, I got lucky real early. I got a movie when I was 16 and called Grand Canyon, and there happened to be a bunch of people, a bunch of filmmakers and stuff that sort of responded to that kid that was
so
me
cool.
at that age.
Yeah.
It's hard to plan on, really, if you're young, if you're an actor trying to do it, just do it. Just say you're doing it and do all the stuff you're supposed to do. Get in the classes, try not to let them ruin you, kind of get in front of as many people as possible and just be acting. And that just ups your odds of something happening, somebody getting on your side and saying, you know what, I want to help this kid out. Because it is one of those things. You need help. You need people to help. You need somebody to hop on your side,
We're talking to Jeremy Sisto. Congratulations on FBI. Let's talk about your character, Jubal Valentine. Jubal has kind of a rough, tumultuous personal life. What kind of mess are you going to get into this season? Can you tell us?
Yeah, the episode that's airing tonight is great. I mean, actually, I haven't seen it, so I hope it's great. But the script is great.
You lived it. Yeah.
But it's, a lot of Jubal's personal storylines have been, about prioritizing, what comes first when there's a crazed killer on the loose or your son's birthday party, and maybe that one's easier, but what happens if your son gets cancer and he's at the hospital alone, or there's a possible terrorist attack out there and you can help. So those lines are kind of the questions that have come up a lot. And this is this is another one. This is one that has to do with past loyalty, and it does connect his sort of past bad behavior, his destructive behavior in the past, because he is asked to do something that goes against his ethics by somebody who has protected him when he was acting against his values in the past. So it's a complicated decision, but and I was really impressed that the writers were able to find a version of the theme that we've already explored, but a slightly different take on it.
You can catch that tonight on CBS FBI. Well, we've built you up, Jeremy, but now I've got to come at you for a loss. Because we talk about all the perfection of Jeremy Sisto and all these roles. What I want to hear, and this is, like, some people may not even know this, that you lost the lead role of Titanic to some other dude. We won't even mention him. I think it's Leo.
Something
anyway,
like that. Yeah.
I've seen your screen test, and you did it with, I guess, was it yours or Kate Winslet's? It's full on, like, on the set, in the wardrobe, doing the thing, and you were brilliant in that. How did you react when James Cameron told you that you lost the lead role to Leonardo DiCaprio?
Well, he didn't even want to see me for that. He had cast me in a movie when I was younger, because he responded to me in my first movie, Grand Canyon, and that movie didn't actually get made. So when this one came up, I was like, please. And he said no, and I wrote him this long letter, and so then he was like, fine, you can test screen. And so I went, and it was, full wardrobe, full set, crew, and it was crazy. And Kate was one of the actresses that I read with, and I was really out of my league at that point. I would have never been able to handle that kind of the confidence it takes that Leo just had in spades at a young age. I had way too much insecurity to play that kind of character at that time. So, yes, was I hurt when I got the call that I didn't get it? Yes, but I felt it by then. By the time, I think Kate Winslet was the last actress I read with, and by the time she showed up, I was like, I feel like I've already lost this, and now maybe I'm just reading with Kate. I'm not sure, but
well, come on, Jeremy.
The one that got away.
They're not going to put you full on in the set, the wardrobe full on, if they're not considering you, and you were really good in it.
Yes, no, arguably he was definitely considering me for sure. But I mean, listen, the truth is I have not gotten or been rejected for 99.9% of every job I've gone out for. What you've seen is a small percentage of things that I've actually, that they've gone for me. That's just the life of an actor, Yeah. They asked me, would you is it okay if we put this test screen on the DVD? And I was like, no, I'm not. You can't put one of my many failures on. But then I was like, you know what? The fans of this movie, it's so cool to see, when you watch Eric in the Back to the Future. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
yes.
I guess he played. But so it's fun to watch for the fans. So I was like, all right, go ahead and show it. And listen, in a way, it's like I'm glad, because that is what the life of an actor is sort of doing your thing and sort of letting the chips fall where they will, And Leo was amazing. I mean, I would have cast him as well.
All right, I'm not going to embarrass you because I know you've got to go. So when you hang up, I'm going to play the scene for everybody.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, no part of it, just part of the scene. Because I think it was that good. Jeremy, thank you for coming on. Nice to meet you. And FBI Tuesday nights, of course, on CBS. Thank you, Jeremy Sisto.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
What a great guy.
Yeah, great dude.
I mean, it's unbelievable how many successful shows and movies he's been in.
So check this out. This is the scene.
This is crazy.
I didn't want to embarrass him and play it while he was on, but once he started joking about how he was like, don't show my failure, and he's laughing about it. This is full wardrobe. So imagine watching Titanic like this could have been the print. I mean, this could have been it.
This is unreal.
And he was doing this scene with Kate Winslet like it's nothing on a full set. Check this out.
Do you have a name?
Rose.
Rose.
Rose DeWitt Bicator.
I may have to get you to write that down. Rose. Is it short for something? Rosemary? Rosalula?
No.
Rosalina?
Stop. No, it's just Rose. A simple little flower without a thought in its head.
No. Roses are very complex, actually. Have you ever torn one apart? The petals just get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, but it's still a rose. Down to infinity. And, it's the only flower that can draw blood.
That's pretty impressive to me. I mean, it was a long, long scene. That's just a bit of it.
He was kind of being humble.
He was being humble. Well,
he wasn't in the same league as Leo.
And about how 99.9% of his jobs are failures. Hello, Law and Order, FBI, Clueless. I mean, the list goes so on and on. So Jeremy Sisto, catch him tonight on FBI on CBS. This is 99X.